treat bag. Silas is aware that it's training time. He says, oh boy, what are we gonna do? He's been outside, he's done some sniffing around, so we don't have that kind of distraction. There are two different kinds of sit. I know we all think sit is sit, but to a dog, it's a different muscle movement between sit from a down and sit from a stand. So you're only going to train one at a time. We're going to do, I think, sit from a stand today. So we've got him standing. Come on. Alright, we've got him standing, and we're just going to lower him from the tip of his nose. Good boy. What you're going to do is you're going to put the treat on the tip of his nose, and you're going to drag it up. And when his head cranes up, that's going to prompt him to sit, because it's more comfortable for him to sit than to stand there with his neck all craned up. Alright, get you standing again. And again. Good. At this point, when you're first starting out, you don't say the word, because they have no idea what that word means, and you want to make sure that he is doing the behavior before you start associating a verbal command with it. Sit up. Boy. Good. Now, don't be afraid to push forward if your dog's getting it really well. Dogs catch on really quickly. So they say to do between 5 and 10 reps, and then try to push to the next level. I did 10 with Silas when he was learning, just to make sure that he got it. And your next level is, after the lowering, is you're going to go do an empty hand. Now Silas needed an in-between, a half step, and I'll show you what that is. Well, I guess I'll start out right now and show you what it is. It's where, I don't even know if you can see me on my camera. Let me check. Alright. You take your treat or kibble and you palm it. You put it between your fingers, like that. And so he can smell it, but he can't see it real well. And then you do the same nose up. So it's kind of standing. Come on, stand up. Alright, good boy. Good. Now you can mark his behavior when he does it. You can either use a clicker, that's real popular, or you can say good or yes. Just something that he knows that he's done it right. Aside from getting the treat, because a lot of people, they can't immediately hand the treat out that quickly. Now if he does that, if he starts jumping or any other behavior, he just doesn't get the treat. He doesn't get punished, he doesn't get yelled at, he just doesn't get it. And what I was taught was dogs do what works. So it's not only what gets me the treat, it's what doesn't get me the treat. Good. Alright, so that's the half step. And from there, you're going to go to a full-blown no treat in the hand. You're still going to do, stand up. You're still going to do your big hand motion. Good. Good. And then once he has that down, you start going just a little bit smaller with the hand motion. You don't go from here to here, but you might go from here to here. So it's still big, he can still associate it, but it's not huge. Alright, once he finishes his little scratch. Good. Good. At this point, you can start associating your word. How you're going to do that is you're going to say the word first, and then you're going to wait 2 or 3 seconds, and then you're going to do your signal. Stand. Good. Sit. Good. Now, if it takes him a while to figure it out, the new signal or the association between the word and the signal, that's okay. Latency at the early game is not an issue. It's not something that you're going to worry about. If he doesn't plop right down on his butt, as long as he's working the problem, as long as he's thinking about it, he's not going off and doing something else. If he changes positions, like he lays down, then he just doesn't get the treat. You might mark it with "ah" or "too bad," so that he knows that that's not the behavior you were looking for. But if he's just standing there kind of looking at you, thinking about it, then that's fine. We don't care about that. Come on. Now Silas here, he's thinking, I've done all this. What are you trying to do to me? Good. Sit. Good boy. And that's pretty much how you do it. When he starts jumping the prompt, they call it, which is when you say your word, sit. And he does it before you're able to do your hand signal, then you can start using that as a requirement. So you can start trading them out, where sometimes you do your hand signal, sometimes you don't, and you just wait for it. And then he associates that word with what you're trying to do. Come on. Try this. I know you want the treat. All right, sit. Good boy. And that's it. That's it for sit. And it's going to be the same basic training method for down. I'll show you that really quick. Let's get him in a sit. Sit from a down is easier than sit from a stand. Come on. Good. What you're going to do is you're going to lure him straight back. You're going to lure him straight down from his nose to the ground. Don't pull it out. Don't push the treat back. Just straight down. Good boy. And that's how you start with a down. Okay.